Hi, this is Kambre Sir here, and welcome back to the course that is Fundamentals of Crop Physiology. In the last lecture, it was very short. In that, we have discussed about guttation and difference between guttation and transpiration. Okay, actually, it should be covered in the last lecture itself. Okay. So the today, uh, our new point, that is mineral nutrition. Okay, so here mineral nutrition is nothing but the things which are required to complete the life cycle. Okay, in short, definition is actually different, but in short, minerals or mineral nutrition is what? The things which are required to complete life cycle, not only in case of plants, but in also animals, human beings, for each and every living thing, living organism need all this nutrition. But the thing is that on the basis of whether it is plants, animals, it is difference. Okay, as we know, as a human being, we require carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and so many other elements also. Okay, like that, the plants are also required nutritional elements to complete their life cycle properly. When they are not getting it, there will be deficiency symptoms. Okay, so this mineral nutrition which we are providing to the any type of the plants or the group of plants, that is crops, that is again having different role of each element. Okay, and also there is an classification on the basis of its requirement or how we are giving it, or whether it is directly involved in the metabolism or not. Okay, so in the mineral nutrition, there are major two types of the minerals. First one is macro elements and second one is the micro elements. Okay, macro is nothing but required in the quite higher quantities, while micro elements which required in very small amount. Again, these elements, nutritional elements which are required by the plant, are taken from three different sources. First one is the atmosphere, second one is the soil, and third one is the from the water. Okay, and as we know, different elements are there, but out of which some elements are there which are actually in need. Okay, without them the plants are not able to survive, not able to complete its life cycle. Okay, so these are the essential elements, means in the absence of this one of the element, the plant is not able to complete its life cycle. That elements comes under the essential categories. Okay, and some other elements are also there. Then criteria of essentiality is also given by the scientist Arnon and Stout. That is also we are going to discuss. Then hidden hunger is one of the important concept is there, that will also discuss about. And then general, specific, and role of the mineral elements and their deficiency symptoms. And one more last point, that is mechanism of mineral elements. This is what we are going to discuss in our today's lecture. Okay, so start with the first slide, that is definition of mineral nutrition. Okay, so the definition of the mineral nutrition, that is number of definitions are given actually, so remember any one of them. The term mineral nutrient is generally used to refer to an inorganic ion obtained from the soil and required for the plant growth. Okay, so it is actually from the soil itself, okay, and which is required by the plant, which is necessary for the growth and development of the plant, that is mineral nutrition. Again, another definition, the chemical form in which elements are applied to plants is called as a nutrients. Okay, so what is meant by nutrients? So it is an chemicals, form of chemicals of the elements which we are applying for the growth and development of the plantlets. Nutrition may be also defined as a supply and absorption of chemical compounds needed for plant growth and metabolism. Okay, metabolism covers all the reactions and activities at the cell level in the plantlet. Okay, and for all these activities it requires nutritions. Then the nutrients necessary for the growth and development of higher plants are obtained from three sources, that is atmosphere, water and soil. The atmosphere provides carbon and oxygen as a carbon dioxide. Okay, from the atmosphere plants are able to absorb this carbon dioxide, okay, from which oxygen and carbon dioxide, out of which carbon is reduced during photosynthesis. Okay, in the photosynthesis reaction this carbon is get used up, and oxygen is utilized during aerobic respiration, and soil provides the mineral ions. Okay, so the oxygen which is required for the aerobic respiration, aerobic means what, in the presence of oxygen, that is aerobic respiration, that we are going to discuss in our next lectures. Okay, that is one important topic is there, that is respiration, in which we will discuss about what is meant by aerobic respiration, what is meant by anaerobic respiration and so on. But now itself just remember that oxygen is required for the aerobic respiration and soil provides the mineral ions. Moving on to the next slide, essential elements. Okay, now so many elements are there which are required for the growth and development of the plant, out of which some are called as essential elements. And what is meant by these essential elements? So the first, the term essential mineral element was proposed by Arnon and Stout. Okay, so this terminology was given by the scientist, that is Arnon and Stout. These are the composition of both macro and micro elements. In the absence of any of these elements, the plant cannot maintain its normal growth and develop deficiency symptoms, affects metabolism and die prematurely. Okay, so essential elements means what? Those elements which are required in anyhow. In the absence of these elements, plant cannot maintain its normal growth, means normally how much time is required for the any crop, that is 3 months, 4 months, like that. In that particular time the plant is not able to complete its life cycle or growth, and also it develop deficiency symptoms and affects metabolism and die prematurely. Prematurely means what? Before its completion of life cycle it will die. That's why these elements comes under the category that is essential elements. Next point, many elements that have been detected in plant tissues, only 16 are essential for all higher plants. They are C, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, then sulfur, zinc, copper, ferrous, manganese, then boron, chlorine, and molybdenum. Okay, so these are the some elements which are essential for the growth and development of the plant, and which are 16 in numbers. In the absence of each of the essential elements, plants develop deficiency symptoms, characteristics of the deficient element, and die prematurely. Now, the next important point, that is classification of mineral elements. Now, these mineral elements which we have gone through, that is how many are those and so on, out of which the classification of the mineral nutrients is also one of the important aspect of the topic, in which first of all macronutrients. Now what is meant by macronutrients and what is meant by micronutrients? So macro is nothing but the elements which are required for the growth of the plant relatively in larger quantities are called as major nutrients or macronutrients. Relatively larger quantities. Okay, these are the important words. Here also some information is there, that is like which required more than 50 ppm, which required more than 100 ppm, like that. But in different 2 3 books it is given different. So it is good to say relatively larger quantities, that is called as a major nutrients, and also it is called as a macronutrients. Then the next point, that is the major elements required for the growth development are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, then nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and last that is calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. Okay, so these are the some essential elements, and it is called as a macro elements. Among these nutrients, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen are taken up by the plants from the atmosphere and water. And the next point is there, that is the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur are taken up by the plants from the soil, from the soil, and they are applied in the form of essential fertilizers either through the soil or foliage. Okay, nothing but foliage is nothing but the in the form of sprays. Okay, then micronutrients, the nutrient elements which are required comparatively in small quantities are called as minor or micronutrients or trace elements. Okay, so these are the some elements which are minor or micronutrients which are required in the very less quantity or minor quantity. Then the micronutrients required for the plant growth are zinc, copper, then ferrous, manganese, molybdenum, boron, and chlorine. Based on the mobility in the phloem, elements are also classified into the based on the mobility. Okay, mobility means what? This particular mineral or nutrient is present in a particular area or particular part of the plant. Okay, and where it is actually present, where it observed, where it occurs. Okay, and also where the deficiency symptoms are appearing of these elements, that is important. So on the basis of mobility, that is how these elements are mobile in nature. Okay, from whether it is able to move from the tip to root to stem, like that, or these are the immobile in nature, means it is present in the phloem, it won't go anywhere, like that. Okay, and the partially mobile means they are sometime mobile or sometime immobile in nature. So on the basis of that, first one is the mobile elements, in which highly mobile in nature, and that is nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, sulfur, and magnesium, while immobile elements are the elements which are immobile in nature, they won't move anywhere, that is calcium, ferrous, and boron. And the last one, that is intermediate, which are partially mobile in nature, that is zinc, manganese, copper, and molybdenum. Okay, so these are the some important classification on the basis of the mobility and on the basis of the its requirement, that is whether it is required in the higher quantities or it is in the trace quantities. Then another two important aspects, that is criteria for essentiality of elements, and second one is the hidden hunger. Out of which criteria of for essentiality of the elements, which was given by the scientist called Arnon and Stout. Okay, and which was given in the 1939, and in which three different criteria are there to judge the exact status of mineral in the nutrient of plant. Okay, so in which the first important is aspect criteria is there, that is the element must be essential for normal growth or reproduction, and the plant processes cannot proceed without it. Okay, for example, take an example of the boron. Boron is mainly important in case of in some plants for the flowering purpose. Okay, when the boron is critically low, in that cases it affects the flowering of the our crop. So like this, any all these 16 elements are required for the particular processes, and without them that process will be affected. Okay, then second one is there, that is the element cannot be replaced by the another element. Okay, sometime what happens, one element can be replaced by the other. Okay, in case of the absent of that element, or a role of the one element can be completed by the other element in some cases. This type of the element is not called as an essential element because its role can be replaced. Okay, essential elements means what? The role of that element cannot be replaced in any situation. And the last one, the requirement must be direct, that is not the result of some indirect effects such as relieving toxicity caused by the some other substance. Okay, now requirement must be direct means what? The essential elements, which are the elements having the direct role in some processes, there is a no indirect role. Or when we are providing nitrogen, it should be absorbed by that particular plant. Because of the nitrogen something will happen, and that is good for the plant. This is not the case. Okay, whatever elements are there which are classified as essential element, they should have directly involved, that there is a direct effect in the growth and development of the plant. And the last one, that is hidden hunger. Hidden hunger means what? When the plant are not able to meet their requirement, either one or more of these essential elements, the plant will undergo starvation for such elements. Means what? The plant required some quantity of the nitrogen, okay, but they are not getting that quantity of the nitrogen. In these cases, what will happen? Plant will undergo starvation for such elements, and it will not start the showing deficiency symptom, but the processes, fundamental processes which are depend on the nitrogen, will get affected. Then the next point, at the initial stage of deficiency of such elements, plant will not show any characteristic symptom which could be exhibited morphologically, and due to want of those elements, some activities of the plant would rather be affected, and the internal deficiency is called as a higher hidden hunger. Okay, deficiency symptom means what? For example, in the absence of nitrogen, the leaves of the plant will get turned into yellowish color. Okay, instead of the green color, it will be pale green to yellowish. This is morphological deficiency symptom which can be observed, and the correction will be there for this deficiency symptom by applying nitrogen. But hidden hunger means before showing such deficiency symptom morphologically which can be observed, before that the plant goes under starvation for because of the absence of this element, and internally some processes, some fundamental activities of the plant will get affected, and this particular stage is called as a hidden hunger. Got it? So this is also one of the important aspect, that is hidden hunger. Okay, in the next lecture, we will discuss about what is deficiency symptoms because of the absence of these elements, that is essential elements. Okay, so we will wind up for today. We'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.